And welcome to Wednesday night. Let's see who's here. We got Bill Salfarsky, got Josh Leach. Yes, it was very nice weather today here in Maine. Got Craig's Cord to Coles. Wednesday night lives always sneak up on me. Yeah, they sneak up on me too. I was trying to get some fire starters done. You see behind me there, we got another batch of 600 that we're trying to get poured. But we got all kinds of new merchandise and stuff to show you guys in a little bit. We'll wait till a bunch of people get here and we'll go from there. But I got this. This was a gift. I'll tell you who that was from in just a minute. And I think they're freaking awesome. They're going to be my good going to town hat. But no video today. Today was one of those days where you just work. Kevin and I delivered 5 full cords of firewood, and I picked up 2 full cords of cherry to bring home. Jason Lee, good evening. Rob, outside in the 515, how you doing? Robert Daigle, hello. Basso, Mr. Basso and Zach, how you doing, boys? Brandon Hode, all cleaned up and presentable, absolutely. Old Guy Firewood, Dick, good evening. Iffy Kid, how we doing? So, midweek check-in. Like I said, we've got all kinds of new stuff to show you guys in just a little bit. I'll wait till a bunch of people get here, and then we'll go from there. Again, busy day, no video today. Just worked. Jimbo, good evening. And we're working on fire starters. I'll be pouring until probably midnight. Gonna try to get a couple of batches done and go from there. PA Trapper, hello. Yeah, Jason Lee, I don't get 2 full cords of cherry ever up here in Maine. I mean, ever. So that's a score and a half. And we're really excited to have that. Arthur Bowers, good evening. Robert Cunningham, good evening from North Texas. Absolutely. Speedy, good evening to you, my friend. Good to see you. Sherry Miller, good evening. Denny Hart, how are you? Lake Ontario Firewood, good evening. Hearth Haven Firewood, congratulations on that new restaurant reaching out to you. That's awesome. That right there is why hard work pays off. So congratulations. I saw that on the Facebook there. I did get some sun. My cheeks are rosy. It was sunny today, and I worked my butt off today. I did not have my nice new hat on. Isn't that nice? I'll tell you who that came from in just a little bit. Benny, good evening. But we had 55 degrees and sunny, and it was definitely toasty. I am not used to 55-degree weather, that's for sure. I was sweating. It was warm, warm, warm. Today's firewood was 18-inch round wood, and I got tired of picking the great big rounds up, and I started busting them with a Fiskars just to split them in half. And the round wood is nice because it goes quick, but man, that stuff is heavy. Especially the wood that we have. It's much bigger than normal. Dennis Rexford, good evening. Good to see you here. Hearthaven says 60 degrees here and it's getting nice. Yeah, the frost has gone out of the wood yard, so our wood yard's drying up really quick. I did get stuck today doing a delivery. I backed into a driveway that the lady assured me was solid, and it was not. It took me about 45 minutes to get out, but we got it out. She's got some ruts to fill in. She said it was her fault. She'd take care of it, so absolutely okay with that because I didn't want to have to do any raking or shoveling. She was in charge of backing me up, and she was only watching one side of the tires, so that's what you get for having a homeowner help back you in. I didn't have Kevin with me. I sent Kevin home to go to sleep so he could go to work tonight, and it's just the roll of the dice. So, yeah, it's been a busy day, but we've got a bunch of people here. So Josh and Janice Leach, they own a business in Islesboro, and they made a bunch of stuff for us. So for the ladies, oh, look at that, Kevin Violet. K-Train just popped in, and he wants to say goodnight to everybody. Well, hey, Kevin, good to see you, buddy. Donald Slate, good evening, my friend. So Josh and Janice, they took a bunch of our ideas that we had, and they made us some merchandise. So we've got the ladies edition of the Make Firewood Great Again pink hat. The hats that I got, I'm not real thrilled with. I'm going to do the Richardson hats, but these are pretty good. So we got that one. We got the Where's the Firewood, WTF. And then we got the men's version of the Where's the Firewood. And I had a black Make Firewood Great Again hat, but Richard claimed that as his own already, so that one's gone. We've got the red Make Firewood Great Again. And we've got a red Where's the Firewood. So the hats came out really good. We got some shirts too. The shirts all have Willie's Firewood logo on the front, but on the back of this one, it's a nutritional fact. And what it is the nutritional fact for one log. So kind of a comical little shirt. I like that one. But there's one shirt in here in particular that I've been wearing all day, and I've been wearing it with a smile on my face, and we'll get there in a minute. But we've got the Willie's Firewood, Make Firewood Great Again, American flag. That's a nice one. That shows up really good on the black, so that's a nice shirt too. Sure to be a fan favorite, the Willie's Firewood K-Train shirt. And I'm gonna zoom you in here so that we can see Kevin. Kevin's in the train and he's pulling the Willie's Firewood log cart behind there. So that's the K-Train shirt. Kevin's on there. That's that was cool. I like the way that one came out. Kevin thought it was pretty sweet, so that's awesome. And then my fan favorite, and I'm sure everybody else's too, is the Willie's Firewood Cut Like Gramp shirt. So this shirt right here is absolutely my favorite, hands down, because I could not do what I do without Gramp, and that is 100% sure. That's my absolute favorite shirt. I think it came out awesome. My wife made the design for the Cut Like Gramp shirt, and it's definitely my favorite. But we've still got the Where's the Firewood in black with the Willie's logo on the front. That came out really nice too. So lots of nice shirts, lots of nice designs. We'll have stuff, some more stuff coming. Oh, wait, I got one more thing in the bottom of the box. I'm going to disappear for just a second. They made us Kevin stickers, Willie's Firewood, exactly. So he got a kick out of that one. So did I. I think those came out really, really nice. So very happy with them. And they've got some more stuff they're sending to us too. But I think it's really cool. And they're a good local business. They're close to us. I like supporting local. Jeff Morgan, good evening. So whenever I travel to all the shows, I'm going to try to bring a bunch of stuff with me. If we sell out, we can get you some shipped to you. But we'll carry as much as we can when we go to the shows and things like that. But this hat right here, this came from Bill Selfarski. It's got a leather patch, Willie's Firewood. It's on a nice Richardson hat. All of our hats will be Richardson hats from here on out. I got some cheaper ones because that was all I could get at the time for Josh and Janice. But that one came out really nice. He sent one for all of us, for Rich, Kevin, Gramp, and I. And he also sent some little cutout wooden turkey picture frames. And my wife's going to claim those. But I found them in the bottom of the box. He said to dig around. I wasn't sure what I was looking for, and then I found them. So thank you very much, Bill. We appreciate that. Those hats came out awesome. Nice K-Train. Would you be interested in a male chicken coops great again shirt? So, yeah, Bill, appreciate that very much. Josh and Janice, thank you so much for all your hard work. Gramp has not seen the Cut Like Gramp shirt yet, but I can't wait to show him. I think it's awesome. He does not get enough recognition for what he does, although the video that we did about him cutting 50 cord last week is our second best performing video that we've ever put on YouTube. And it has shot the subscriber count up. And, oh, they're napkin rings. All right, well, that makes more sense. I thought they were like little picture frames. All right, Bill, that's absolutely perfect. Now I know what they are. See, no one's half the battle. So it's a napkin ring. That makes perfect sense. I'm not that fancy, so I wouldn't know. But our subscriber count has gone over 4,000, and that's really, really cool. So really happy about that for sure. And as I'm talking on the live, one of my friends is watching or must be watching on Facebook. They said they have a whole bunch of cherry that they'd be willing to trade regular firewood out for if I'm interested in it. So maybe we'll get a whole bunch more cherry too. We'll see. But with the 4,000 subscribers, we're going to do some sort of giveaway. I'm not sure what just quite yet. I haven't decided, but we couldn't do this without you guys. So we're gonna have some sort of giveaway. I don't know what we're gonna do just yet, but we'll do something. It snuck up on me actually. I was feeling a little under the weather yesterday afternoon. My wife with her IVs and stuff definitely got me feeling better again and got me going. So we're back in business. But I looked at the sub count this morning and we were over 4,000 by quite a bit. So that was really cool. I appreciate all of the support. We've got a bunch of stuff coming that manufacturers are sending us to use on the channel. All useful stuff that we will use and that will hopefully be decent. I told them that we're not doing reviews on any of it unless we like it first. So once we get it, if we don't like it, we'll mail it back to them at our cost. But if we like it, then we'll do a video and a review. But got some pretty cool stuff coming. And there's been a couple of bigger companies that have reached out that absolutely, yeah, I need to drink more water or Gatorade for sure. I drank a bunch of Gatorade today, as a matter of fact. But we're gonna have a bunch of those things coming up on the channel, and we've got two manufacturers, big manufacturers, that are talking about big machines, big equipment. But we'll see how that goes. I'm fussy. I can't help it that I'm fussy, but I'm fussy. I turned down, I don't even know how many things I've turned down just because they don't apply to what we do here. I had somebody want to send a laser level. I've had people want to send socks and shirts and whatever. Not a fan. The Vevor chainsaw, I told them right up front when they sent it, if the thing is garbage, I'm not doing a review on it. I'll send it back. The Vevor chainsaw surprised the crap out of me. And we got the review video all ready to go. And as soon as we had the review video ready to go, they emailed us and said, please, please don't put it out. Don't put it out. We've sold out of chainsaws. But the Vevor chainsaw, other than being thirsty, really, really nice little saw. For $100, I don't know how you can really go wrong with it. It cuts good. It runs good. It is plastic. I don't know how long it's going to keep up. We've been doing a bunch more cutting with it. It's been good so far. No real issues. We've got, I don't know, we've got 15, 20 tanks through it. It's still running decent. Gramps' favorite chainsaw, I've got to say, is the Echo 620. That's what he's picking up over anything else most of the time. He likes the way it runs. He's gotten really good and comfortable with it. That's his saw that he likes to run now. He'll dig out the 7310 if the wood is really big, but he says the 620 cuts just as good, if not a little faster. So I don't know. I haven't timed it. I don't really care to time it. It's what he likes. So if that's what he wants to run, then that's what we'll do. 32 feet, not throwing it yet. I don't think it's got a very small tank on it, Bert. It's got a pretty good sized tank, but it is thirsty. If you put it beside the Echo 620, I got to measure the tanks, but the 620 runs almost twice as long on a tank of fuel. And it seems like they take just as much to fill, but I'll have to measure them, I guess. So we'll see. I know Kenny from Open Air Adventures, he measured the tank compared to his 555 I think he has, and the tanks were almost the same identical size, but he said it was running a third less time on a tank of fuel than the Husky was. So I think it's just a little thirsty, and it could probably be tuned down a little with the carburetor, but it seems to be running really good where it's sitting right now, so we're leaving that alone. Yeah, I know. Could lean it out some, but lean is mean, and with these things right here, I don't think you want them to be mean too much. Yeah, Brandon, the 590 and the 620 are basically the same saw. Different piston and carburetor, but they're pretty much the same. Bar on the 620 is a 20-inch bar. So that's what Gramp runs on all his saws. He likes a 20-inch bar. He's tried longer bars. He said it's just more teeth to sharpen. He likes the 20-inch bar. So I'm not going to try to change his mind or get him to do anything any different than what he's doing right now. If he's happy, I'm happy. So that's kind of where we're at with it. Good evening, Mercury Man. Good to see you. Yeah, 20-inch bar is about right for the 620. It would probably pull a 24-inch fine, but yeah, no, we don't have wood that big, so we don't really have to worry about it. Brian, Shotlift Family Firewood, good evening. Yeah, 395 is definitely a thirsty beast for sure. John, Mount Tammany Ridge, good evening. So, yeah, like I said, no video today, really busy. I got a batch of 600 fire starters behind me that I've got to pour after the live. I'm trying to get an inventory of 40 to 50 cases of fire starters built up to bring with me to the shows, just so that I have them on hand. I don't know if I'm going to get that far. I've only got 20 cases ahead right now, and that 20 cases is getting sucked up pretty quick with orders. We don't advertise very much anymore, but that's what we do. Oh, there's Daniel Atkins right there. Good evening, Daniel. Thank you for stopping by. Had a 27-inch white pine, 24-inch on the 590 with no problem. Yeah. Like I said, Brandon, the 590 and the 620, they're stout little saws. I think Gramp would endorse the 620 over just about anything right now, but I do have an Echo 501 that's out getting worked up right now. That's a brand new saw, and when that comes back, we'll see what he thinks of that. I ran Heath's decked imported 501 from Hardworking Man when I was out in Michigan, and for a small saw, I was really, really impressed with that, so we'll get that and we'll go. Arthur Bowers, yes, I will be bringing fire starters with us to Indiana as well, so we will have fire starters with us there. I'll bring a bunch of shirts. I'll try to bring as much of whatever I can, and then we'll go from there. Let's see. Norm, how do you market your fire starters? I've been trying to sell fire starters with the roadside stand with no luck. Wood sells from the stand, but no fire starters. Any pointers? So with the fire starters, what I did when I first started, Norm, is I put a little container down in the bottom of all of my racks that held 2 or 3 fire starters, and they were underneath the wood. And I put free fire starters with every purchase. And once those people got the fire starters and tried them, then they started asking, hey, how do we get more of these? Because 2 or 3 was not enough to use all of the firewood that they had, but they liked them. So that was what got my sales started. And then whenever I sold a full cord of wood to a new customer, I'd give them a bag of 6 of them with a business card. I don't know if I have one in here or not. I don't. But I'd sell them a bag. I'd give them a bag of 6 with a business card. And then when they used them, they'd call and say, hey, we used your fire starters. We really like them. How do we get more? So it was giving them away for a while. We've been making them for about 4 years now. And we sell a lot of them. So they've been a really nice addition. Brett, Foothills Firewood, good evening, my friend. Let's see. I'm just looking back through the comments, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Yep, no, Norm, that's the way to do it. First one's free, and then after that, they're gonna pay for it. And that was the same thing I did with the new barbecue restaurant that we picked up. I gave them their first batch of wood for free, and I told them after that, you're gonna pay for it, and that was perfectly fine, so. Good evening, Daniel Atkins, welcome back again. Britt bought a 620 today. I thought you were a steel guy. You switching sides? It's all right, we'll let you. Sharp chainsaw is a good chainsaw. So for those of you that are going, I'm not going to be able to make it, but the Firewood Fellowship in Boonville, North Carolina is this Saturday. If you want information on how to get there and how it works, look up Foothills Firewood or Yadkin Valley Outdoors, and then you will get all the information that you need to show up. And you can come as you are, bring a splitter, bring a saw, bring whatever you want. But they're just going to go and hang out and have a good time and see what works. Yeah, the 620, I'm telling you, for the money that the 620 is, I really don't think that there's a better saw out there. It's just, I think it's a really, really nice saw. They're not fancy. There's nothing special. They're just a really good running saw, and that's all there is to it. And for what, $600? I mean, $600 isn't going to buy you squat from Husky or Steel. It's going to buy you a homeowner saw. It's not going to buy you a 60cc pro saw. So the fire starters are made with dried sawdust. You hang on. Ugh. So I screen and dry all of our sawdust, or chips. It's not dust because Gramp sharpens pretty good. And this last batch that was maple, all the maple he's cutting, he had his saw sharp. We dry it, and then it's a piece of candle wick and a wax mixture that we pour into the molds. And then when they're dry, we pop them out. So there's no paper cup, no paper liner. They're just a cost-effective way to start a fire. I am not the most expensive, and I don't claim to be the best, but they work, and they work very well. So that's all that really kind of matters. There's a couple of companies out there that every time I post, they come behind me and they post about how theirs are better, how they do it better, and how they've made them longer. And they're the reason that I started making my own fire starters, because they were more expensive. I use paraffin so that it's food grade. Soy, I don't like soy. Yes, I buy the silicone molds. They're actually chocolate molds. No, I'm not using accelerant in my fire starters. So. So for bars, I've had really good luck with the Sugihara bars when I've replaced them, and the GB bars. Everybody says the GB titanium bars are really, really nice. So I think the next time that we have to get a bar, that's what we're going to go. Forester bars are about the cheapest bar that you can get, and they actually hold up pretty good. I ran those for a long time in the woods because they had replaceable tips. Plunge cutting trees, you blow tips quite a bit if your rakers are too low. And Gramp and I get a little aggressive sharpening, so I like something with a replaceable tip. I can usually put a couple of tips on a bar before I wear the bar out, so we go that route for sure. Iffy Kid says GB is good but not available in lightweight, so if you're looking for a lightweight bar, GB is not the way to go. Yeah, the Sugihara bars are very expensive. I bought one, and I actually wore the saw out before I wore the bar out, so that was pretty good. High heat, it's got to be more than about 140 to 150 degrees before the heat bothers the fire starters. They're very shelf stable. But if you leave them in an oven, they're gonna melt their wax. So be no different than a candle or something like that. But they hold up pretty good. Yeah, Oregon VersaCut, we've run those before. Those are pretty decent. I had, what was the other one I had? I don't remember now. Derek's stuff is stopping in for 2 minutes. I'm timing you. Starting now, Derek. The Echo 620 will run longer on a tank of fuel than the 7310 will. I'll tell you that right now. And Gramps says it cuts just as fast, therefore you get more wood out of the 620 than the 7310. So I haven't timed it, haven't gotten real scientific with it, but I'll take Gramps' word for it. He runs saw a whole lot more than I do. Oh, Iffy Kid, there you go. Saw Supplier was the same price for Sugihara or Sumara bars, so it might be worth looking into that. And hopefully by next week, we'll have a discount code of our own for you guys for Saw Supplier. We can get you 10% off. So hopefully that works out. I talked to Tim from Saw Supplier the other day. Real nice guy. Sounds like we should be all set. I'm just waiting for him to get us set up. And then we'll have a discount code that you guys can use that'll get you 10% off your order too. That's where we get our Echo Red Armor oil from. They're sold out of some of the sizes, but they do have some of the other sizes available still right now. That's what we run in all our saws. Doesn't matter what it is. So, Britt, is there anything that anybody needs to bring with them if they're coming to the fellowship with you guys on Saturday? I used to run vegetable oil in my firewood processor, Daniel. So instead of using bar oil, vegetable oil was cheaper, and I used vegetable oil. See, Dick from Old Guy Firewood, he buys his Red Armor from him as well. So the Red Armor on there is not bad. The 2.5 gallon mix, I want to say it was like a little under $3 a bottle if you bought the master case of 48. So. Oh, Derek's ordering a Sumara bar for his 572, so there you go. Christopher Jacobs, good evening, my friend. So yeah, Red Armor is all we use. We don't use anything but. We had issues with the Husqvarna XP oil that Gramp was running, and we blew a couple of saws up, even running them rich. And the guy asked what we were using for oil. We told him. He said, if I were you, he said, I'd switch to this. And he handed us a bottle of Red Armor. So Britt from Foothills Firewood says, if you're going to the fellowship, the only thing he would recommend is whatever you want for PPE and a chair to sit your ass in when you're tired. And whatever they want to use in the wood yard. So there you go. Big E Outdoors, good evening from West Virginia. Hello, hello. Yeah, vegetable oil is not friendly for a chainsaw. The firewood processor, I never had an issue with the vegetable oil, but in chainsaws, I wouldn't recommend it. Chainsaws, the only thing that we run in ours are Cobra bar oil. It's red. Gramp likes it because you can see it on the wood to make sure that it's working. Daniel Atkins uses whatever he can find on Craigslist when somebody's cleaning out their garage for two-stroke oil. So there you go. See, Yadkin Valley Outdoors agrees with Britt. So bring yourself something to sit your ass in when you're tired and whatever you guys want. And then a cold snack if you want, according to Yadkin Valley. So you guys can use your interpretation for that. Brian buys his two-stroke oil at auctions. So, geez, I guess I gotta smarten up. Maybe I can save some money. Yeah, when we could get 30-weight engine oil cheap enough, we used to do that too. But the Cobra bar oil is just as cheap now, so not bad at all. Yeah, Big E, the Red Armor is the oil that everybody is kind of pushing to run right now. There are still some guys that they're die hard. I'm gonna run my Husky oil. I'm gonna run my steel oil, whatever. But we've never ever had an issue with the Red Armor at all. I ran clots in my other saws. I had a couple of saws that were worked up for a little while, and I ran clots in those just because that's what the guy that built them told me to run. Saber, 50 to 1, $15 a quart. Show your shirt again. All right, I got shirts. So there's a bunch more people in here. So we got new shirts from Josh and Janice Leach. And they all have the Willie's Firewood patch on the front, but the backs are different. So this is Where's the Firewood? And then we've got my favorite shirt, and the one that I have on, Cut Like Gramp, Willie's Firewood. And then we have another fan favorite, K-Train. Then we've also got the Make Firewood Great Again American flag. We have our log nutrition facts 1 log. And it's got all the information there. And then we've got some hats. We've got the Where's the Firewood hat, the Make Firewood Great Again hat, and we also have them in ladies' colors as well. So Josh and Janice did a great job. They knocked it out of the park. Very happy. We'll have to get a bunch more made before we hit the shows and take off, but definitely go. Yes, R50. You're absolutely right. Let's see. All right. I'm getting caught up on the chat after showing my shirts. David Lowe got an 18-wheeler load of birch. His 405 Yappa's chomping away on the 8-way. There you go. That's the best way to do it. Let that machine eat and get it done. There you go, Daniel Atkins for the win again. For anybody that wants shirts or Gramp sticks, Daniel put my email in there. You can shoot me an email. Gramp sticks are going to start leaving Friday when our new packaging gets here, so that we can make them work. Add a medium Gramp shirt to my Hoosier Firewood Hysteria pickup. I can do that. Yeah, the Klotz oil smells awesome. The Make Firewood Great Again logo doesn't matter what it's on, but it's the American flag. Make Firewood Great Again. So it doesn't matter if it's on a shirt or a hat. It's the same design. Oh, David Lowe got a new grapple for his skid steer. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. You can call me if you want, Brett. I'll try to walk you through it. It's not hard. If you haven't gone live before, go live before that. So make sure, because the first time you go live, they say you got to give a 24-hour notice. That was not the case with me, because you guys got me while I was going across on the ferry to deliver the Allwood to Josh and Janice. It just popped on and I was live, so we had a short little trip across the ferry, but that's all right. We make it work. I was on, so I figured I may as well go with it. Tractor Supply bar oil is $7.49. Sale price is $4.99 to $5.99. We don't get it that price up here. Our Tractor Supply oil close to me in Bangor is, I think it's $12 a gallon, $11.99, and if it's on sale, it's $10 usually. So definitely cheaper. 8-way, I will probably be picking up the 1st of May when we go down to the International Firewood convention down there, and we'll be bringing that back home. Dennis Rexford, appreciate you stopping by. Have a good night, my friend. Yeah, Tractor Supply Company, I've noticed from area to area, the price changes drastically. And I think it's transportation cost all the way up here in Maine. We're kind of way away from everything, so it kind of makes sense, I guess, but it's still a little irritating that somebody can get stuff so much cheaper. But it's all transportation cost, and I get it. I was hoping that I was going to get news on the new vertical, but I have not heard any news. David Lowe, the 6-way, I like the 6-way in perfect size wood. I don't like it for everything because it creates more slash. The 6-way for the right size wood makes a whole lot of firewood really fast, but it's got to be the right size. So if we sorted through our wood a little bit to make sure that we had the right size and to make sure that everything was kind of where we wanted it to be, we could do that. But I like the 4-way the best myself. Hey, Dick, have a good evening, my friend. Appreciate you. So for me, the 4-way is just what I'm most comfortable with. I think if we get the 8-way for a lot of what we have in our firewood pile, the 8-way will probably work really, really well. So I'm anxious to get that and try it and see. And if it doesn't still do necessarily what we want it to, then we're going to go to a box wedge machine, and we'll go from there. So it's not that the 6-way doesn't work. It'll push anything through the 6-way just like the 4-way. I like the firewood and control of the 4-way better than the 6. If that makes sense, I guess. Excuse me. So again, for those of you that order Gramp sticks, they're all up there on the shelf that way. Packaging will be here Thursday or Friday, and we'll go from there, and we'll start shipping those out and getting those taken care of. So for those of you that are, oh, Derek, Derek's catching you. Brandon caught you, Derek. It's been past 2 minutes. So, yep, there he goes. Wait, as Kevin would say, exactly. Jeremiah, good evening, my friend. Yeah, the 8-way wedge, I think, is going to be kind of the ticket for the size wood that we have. I think the 8-way is going to be nice. There's talk of a 10, maybe even a 12-way. At a 12-way, I don't know. Some of the wood we get's pretty stringy and pretty gnarly. I don't know if it would push the 12-way, but I'd be willing to try it, I guess. So we'll see. So maple syrup season is getting cut short here in Maine. With the temperatures that we've had, sap production is down. I don't know if that's bothering anybody else in any of the other places, but up here they're complaining about it already. Temperatures are too warm and it's not cooling off enough at night. So definitely affecting some people up here. Mud season hopefully will be short. Yes, Heath does have an 8-way already, and that will fit my machine. I may have him bring it with him to Hoosier Firewood Hysteria, just so that we have it. So, because he and Rachel are coming to Hoosier, so that wedge will fit my machine. We could plop it on and get it on there and just make a whole lot more firewood faster. No, the 8-way that Heath and Rachel have is just by itself. I think with the bigger multi-way wedges, it's one of those deals where I think they're better left alone. The 4 and the 6-way is okay on the spinning wedge, but when you go much more than that, probably not real good to have them spinning. Maybe if you had a 4-way and an 8-way or something like that. You just don't want so many fins hanging out on the back when you're pushing wood through, because it's going to push wood out to the sides. So I'm not sure. Bobby knows a whole lot more about that stuff than I do, so I'll let him decide and pick that out. Yeah, I bet Tim's bottling. They're probably scrambling. You don't want to let that sap sit for too long. I had a couple of people up this way. They gave sap away because it was holding too long and they didn't want to hold it. So, yeah, David Lowe, that Dyna that Heath and Rachel have is a really nice machine. I didn't see it when I was out. I was kind of hoping it was going to be close enough that I could get my hands on it, because it's been a while since I've run a processor, but it's kind of very similar in design to what my old Bells used to be, and I would have really liked to have had an opportunity to run that. That looks like a really nice machine, so I think Dyna did a good job building that for sure. Good night, Bert. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm not sure how much wood Heath does. I know they had a fair amount there when I was there. Plus, they do their boiler, and he's got a bunch of wood up to his property where his camp is. So I'm not sure. He didn't say how many cords a year they actually do. But if I had to take a guess, I'm going to say they do well over 100 anyway. But I'm not sure. My goal for this year is 1,000. So they are Gildan shirts. Let me see if they're 100% cotton or not. Let's see. Heavy cotton, 100% cotton. Yes, they're 100% cotton. And if anybody wants shirts or needs shirts designed, let's see. That is distinctively yours 22 at gmail.com. Yeah, Rachel likes the birch. The birch is a really nice splitter. For somebody that's not doing a huge volume of firewood, you don't need anything more than that birch. That birch is a really nice splitter. So, good night, Carl Lewis. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. It looks like you've been staying busy. Keep at it. The birch splitter is a really nice splitter. The all wood works a lot better. Yes, Anson, I will have merchandise at all the shows. If it sells out and there's a certain thing that you wanted, we can definitely order and get it shipped to you. But at all the shows that we attend, we'll have whatever we can get our hands on for merchandise. We'll bring it with us. We'll have some way to take care of it. I don't know what the weight of the birch is. I know the weight of my splitter is about 3,400 pounds. And the wait time on the birch right now is running right around 12 to 14 weeks, the last I knew. And that's only going to get busier with show season. So if you're thinking about pulling the trigger on one, put your deposit in now. Reach out to me, shoot me an email. We can get the deposit put in. That'll lock your build spot so that you're not waiting longer. Because once show season starts, I think those lead times are really going to take off. Excuse me. So I'm not sure, because the new birch, I don't think we have one completely finished, even to weigh it. Based on the trees found in one field today, may not get into the woods. Well, if you got that much blowdown around the fields, I can't imagine what the woods look like. Did a price comparison on my 405. I think, would the Dyna 15 give you a larger log capacity than what you have on your 405 right now? I know that's one of the things that kept me away from the Yappa is the limited log capacity. So kind of go from there. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured, Brandon. If the edges look like that, the inside's even worse. So that's too bad. I had a mule that I was going to go look at for Richard, and they sold it the day before I was able to get out to look at it. I thought I found Richard I think it was a Polaris, I want to say it was a Magnum 400, an older one, and that was sold before I got to it today. I have a John Deere Gator that we're going to look at tomorrow, if it's still there. We'll go from there. Denny Hart, yes, I'm going to hold on to the Musclewood for sure, and add at least 2 more splitters to my operation. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a vertical or if I'm going to do the regular birch, but we're going to add one of the birch, and I'm going to add a box wedge machine. I don't know if the box wedge is going to be gas or diesel yet, kind of all depending, I guess. We'll see what the build schedules are and what's available. For what I have for wood, the diesel doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me. The diesel is high ton machines for us. They're not speed machines. We can get a lot more speed out of the gas machines. So for what I buy for wood, a gas machine is what I need. So we'll end up adding a birch and probably a hickory series before the end of summer, hopefully. Our new conveyor should be done soon, so that'll take care of our conveyor issues that we're having. And we won't have to be pushing it onto the conveyor anymore. I'm thinking the conveyor is going to be ready to pick up the 1st of May when we go down to the International Firewood Expo. I'll have to double check and verify with Bobby and go through all of that with him. See what's going on, see what the schedule is. We've got update on Gramps wood cupboard. We've got 2 full loads, so we've got 16 cords of wood for the wood bank. So that's a good start for that. We'll get that delivered after mud season. We'll let the wood get a little cleaner, and we'll let everything dry up a little bit. We'll get that delivered. And then we'll have a couple of event days planned. We'll do some cutting and some splitting, get that all worked up and stacked up. And we'll post all that when it comes closer as well. So just by donation, just like that, there's 16 cords that are going to go to help keep somebody warm next winter. And we're going to work through the Maine Veterans Project. So yes, the hickory has a box wedge capability, plus it will run other wedges as well. I think the market is pretty well flooded with splitters right now. So what you're finding is you're finding manufacturers that are willing to make the machines that people want. You can get a splitter from just about anybody right now, but not all splitters are the same. The Musclewood that I have, I honestly think is in a class by itself. I don't think there's another splitter at that price point that you're going to put next to it that's going to make the same amount of wood in the same amount of time with the same crew. Now, are there faster or better splitters than that Musclewood? Sure. But they're not in the same price category. Faster? No. Nobody has one faster. But more capable, the 37D from Easton Made, that's definitely a beast of a machine. Our diesel machine is not made quite as fast as that, but our diesel machine pushes almost 15 more tons worth of pressure. So if you got nasty tree service wood, you're not going to slow it down or stop it. The all-wood machines are built bigger than a lot of the other machines, and that's what people say whenever they see them is, holy crap, this thing's big. They're made to be big. They're made to last. They're not made to be little and chintzy. They're not made to be short, so it is what it is. But yeah, there's tons of splitters out there. There's great companies, Wolfridge, Allwood, Easton Made. You've got some others out there that are really good, but you know, those are kind of the three that I think of when I think of splitters, are those three. And there's other people that are out there using other splitters, but so David Lowe, can you add the plate and weld it on yourself? Because if it's just a matter of attachment, you can buy a blank plate and have it welded on, and then you could use the attachment. All that is a plate. So if you've got somebody that can weld, you could weld that on, and then you'd still have your grapple. The grapple that Heath got looked nice. I saw it when I was out there. We didn't get a chance to use it because we didn't have the right hydraulic fittings right then, but that looked like a really nice grapple. BGW Enterprises, very sorry to hear about your mom. That's too bad. So I'll tell you, I saw the Easton Made Evo diesel processor video. That got my attention. The gas one was okay. The absolute change for that machine was the diesel. The diesel was really, really nice. The bucket that Allen Family Firewood has is just a rock bucket. So it's just a rock bucket with 3-inch spacing. There's no grapple on the top, but the bottom's empty, so the sawdust will sift out through it. That seems to work really good for Phil. He's happy with it. So I was watching the 16-way wedge that they have on that Evo machine, and that produces the most amount of bundle grade wood in a small compact processor in the same amount of time as anything that I've seen so far, with the exception of the Typhoon. The Typhoon 500 through a 12-way wedge is just as fast. Not sure where they line up price-wise one to the other, because I haven't really looked at prices of either yet, but got to pick my daughter up from driver's training. Pray for me. Well, we'll be praying for you. Right there. Whole bunch of fire starters, David Lowe. I got 600 more that we're pouring as soon as I get done with you guys. I make probably, I try to do 4 batches a week. So that's 2,400 a week. I'm trying to get my inventory built up to 50 finished cases for the shows. I've only got about 20, and the orders come in just about as fast as I can make them. I've kind of stumbled onto a good little thing, and I like it. I don't even have to advertise anymore. Word of mouth kind of does what it needs to do, and that works out really, really good. So the fire starters are still moving very, very well. Lots of repeat orders, so people that have ordered already have reordered. That really helps out too. So it's really, really interesting to see how things go. I started posting a lot on social media with them, and I agitated and ruffled some feathers of a couple of people, and I still agitate and ruffle feathers, I think, because we're taking some business, but it is what it is. Free market, free enterprise. I'm not trying to take business from anybody. I'm just trying to give somebody a cost-effective solution to do the same thing. So that's all. Bill, I don't know. I think he added a taller piece on the top in the back. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, dry birch bark works great for that. Yeah, Rust the Ruffler. I try not to ruffle feathers very much, but it's one of those deals where I'm very competitive. If you tell me that I can't do something, I'm gonna do it, and that's just all there is to it. It's the same thing with Firewood. When I first started in Firewood, I had people tell me that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't going to be able to. There was too many people doing it. Well, here we are sitting 12 years later with a legitimate business, and I've been selling firewood for longer than that, and I'm still doing it, and a lot of those guys aren't. It's one of those things that you have to be determined that you're going to do it, because firewood is work every single day. It doesn't matter which way you go about it. You're going to work every day. You're going to get hot, sweaty. You're going to pinch your fingers, cut your fingers off. You're going to do whatever you're going to do, but it's still going to be work the next day, and you're still going to go do it. Nobody wants to hear you cry and complain that your back's sore. Nobody wants to hear you cry and complain that the weather sucks. You got to get off your butt. You got to go outside. You got to do it. I never once hear Gramp complain, ever. So it's just one of the, you can't sell 2 birches for the price of 1. No, I can't. If I could, one of them would be sitting in my yard. But no, I'm of the mindset, just go do it. Don't bitch and moan and piss and complain about it. Just get up and go do it. If you just go do it and don't complain, it's going to be done long before, and you won't have to worry about it anymore. So that's just one of those things. We had a guy in town who was a subscriber to your channel, and he approached us about selling firewood. It's cutting in on his son's firewood business. Well, if it's cutting in on his son's firewood business, then that's probably a good thing, because it sounds like it needs some competition. That's the whole thing. If you're cutting in on somebody's business, then they need a competition to begin with. And if they have a decent product, it's not going to bother their business anything. So in the wood yard right now, I have 30 of those 50 cords left. We've gotten 20 out. I should have 2 more loads of logs coming. And once we get those other loads of logs in, Gramp will start cutting back on those. But we've got 30 cord left in the yard right now. I've got 3 more cords. Yeah, 3 more cords going tomorrow. And I've got 3 more cords going Friday. So I'll have 6 more out. So that'll be about half of that wood. Gramp usually cuts about twice as fast as we can split it. So that's why I don't have a processor. I don't need a processor if he's that far ahead of us. So yeah, it's it's one of those things. Yes, competition is good for business. Same thing with the log splitters. Having multiple vendors is good. It gives everybody a whole bunch of chance to have options, to be able to do things different. What I found through business, I don't give discounts. I don't give anybody a special price. Everybody pays the same price. They get a good product. They get an honest measure, and that's the way of doing it. So my roadside racks are full right now. We're in between, and the weather has turned really nice, so we're not pumping through the roadside racks anymore. We're actually kind of getting into some greenwood orders for next year now. We've got restaurant order next week to do early in the week to both restaurants, and then we're going to start putting wood ahead to dry. Yeah, I'd love to have a processor, but I'm not getting one until Gramp's done cutting. When Gramp decides that he's done cutting, then we'll do a processor, and we'll worry about it then. If somebody were to give us a processor between now and then, it's okay. We'll use it, we'll demo it, but it won't be the full part of our business, and they're gonna know that from the second they drop it off, because I'm not gonna take business away from Gramp. So that's just all there is to it. Yeah, Gramp, when when you can come for 3 hours and you cut 6 cord and leave, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And he does that every day. So when you're doing 6 cord a day, 7 days a week, it's 42 cord. But he absolutely nailed it last week. He had a couple of days he came back and cut twice, and holy smokes. I stacked all that wood behind him with the exception of maybe 3 cord that's still on the ground. I got to tell you, I was one tired dude after last week, and I'm still feeling it this week. But he likes to do it, and I'm going to be out there, and I'm going to be there with him if he's going to do it. So it is what it is, and we dropped our head, and we got it done. And I looked at it at the end of the week, and I just shook my head. I thought, how in the world, at 78 years old, is this guy going out here like this every single day and just making me look bad? I lost 7 pounds last week stacking for him, which is probably a good thing. I could probably stand to lose a few more, but I don't want to do 50 cord of firewood every week. That's just crazy. What would have been even better is if I could have delivered all 50 of it. I'm loaded with all that high-end equipment too. Hard to keep it all out of the camera when I'm recording though. And that's the thing that a lot of people are starting to notice, is that there's no fancy equipment here. We do things the hard way, and I'm doing things the hard way because of Gramp. I did things the easy way before, and I could spit out firewood like nobody's business. We had log cranes, we had log loaders, we had everything. All I had was a lot more bills and a lot more headache. I didn't make any more money. I made the same amount of money for a lot more overhead. The way I'm doing it right now is a lot less overhead, and it's a lot simpler. So I appreciate that part of it for sure. But it's one of those things. It's all to scale, and it's all what you want to do. If you're willing to work for it, you can have whatever you want if you're going to work for it. You know, sometimes that comes with bills. Sometimes that comes with a sore back at the end of the day. Yeah, John, I get more and more of those comments, and it is what it is. Yeah, Adkin, you got to get your saw Gramp sharp. Got to get your saw Gramp sharp. And that's this sawdust that's in this tote beside me. Those are big chips. Big chips. I don't know if Kevin's going to be bringing out his own glove line or not. They'd be small if it was Kevin's glove line, because I think a medium's usually a little too big and a small's a little too small. He's in between. But no, Kevin's awesome. I have not seen anybody his size work as hard as he works, that's for sure. But so we are at the top of the hour, so kind of in overtime here. If anybody else has got anything they want to talk about, then we can do that. But I wanted to show you guys all the cool merchandise. Thank you again to Josh and Janice for doing that and getting all that stuff to us. Thanks again to Bill for the hats that he sent. Those are awesome. This is my going to town hat. I will keep that one clean. I'm not going to get it dirty in the wood yard. And Kevin says, exactly. So, I mean, we had a good time tonight. Look forward to seeing you guys all on Sunday. Tomorrow we are headed to, where are we going? Boston. Do you think Gramps would run the Evo diesel to keep him around longer? I don't know. I tried to get Gramp to run a processor, or at least look at the processor, and he wouldn't entertain it. 3/8, and he files hard. I was looking at the size chips when I was cleaning this stuff up, and I've been making fire starters with it, and I was like, holy smokes. But this week, for whatever reason, he's had that filed just right, and I'm telling you right now, it throws chips so hard it hurts if you're standing behind him. John Solomon, I met Kevin working at a local restaurant called Governor's Restaurant, almost 30 years ago now. And we just kind of always crossed paths wherever we went. He worked for me at the commercial bakery that I ran for a while. And then I saw him on Facebook, and he said he needed some money, and I asked him, I said, do you think you can do firewood? He said, I can do firewood. And he came over, and that was a couple years ago, and he's been here almost every day since. So Kevin's a good guy, really, really good guy. And I'm looking forward to being able to take him traveling with me this summer and get stuff done. So that ought to be a fun treat for both of us, because I like bringing Kevin along with me. He's a hoot. But appreciate you guys all stopping by. We'll see you again on Sunday. I'm taking a road trip tomorrow, so I don't know if we'll have a video tomorrow or not. We'll see. But we're going down to watch the Maine Frozen Four. Maine's playing Northeastern University at TD Garden tomorrow, so we're going to go check that out. And we'll be back on Friday. But stay tuned. We've got some really cool products coming. And we've got some good reviews, hopefully, to give to everybody if the products end up being decent. And then we'll go from there. So we'll see you guys again on the next one. Remember, a little bit every day goes a long way. Help someone if you can.